At this point, I am pleased to introduce our speaker for the class of 2016. A native of Verona, New Jersey, Michael Dillane came to prep from the H.B. Whitehorn Middle School. He has been a consistent honors student throughout his time at prep, as well as being a member of the Big Brothers program, campus ministry team, Pope Francis Alive, Ignatian Scholars, captain of both the swimming and water polo teams, all in addition to being student council president this year. In the fall, he will begin studies at the University of Notre Dame, where he hopes to major in civil engineering. So please join me in welcoming the speaker for the class of 2016, Michael Dillane.
Father Buller, Mr. D'Angelo, members of the administration, faculty and staff, family, friends, and the class of 2016. Thank you for the honor and the privilege of speaking in front of you here today. When I sat down to write this speech, I began to look back on my time at prep over the past 4 years, hoping to unite my memories under one common theme. Unfortunately, I was, at the time, also trying to figure out what school I would be attending next fall, and with the decision deadline of May 1st fast approaching, I found it difficult to focus on anything else. Luckily, I finally did decide on April 30th, right before the deposit was due, and while I can't say I enjoyed the whole college process much, I am thankful that it helped generate that one common theme. 1,375 days. From our first day of freshman orientation to today, that's how long we have been prep students. 1,375 days ago, we walked through the doors of prep for the first time, and for most of us, we could not have been more lost and confused. Personally, I don't remember much about that day, except the fact that I was stuck in traffic, I had yet to attempt public transportation, and I knew I was going to be late. As a result, I walked through those doors about an hour after everyone else, and focused on getting used to the fact that I would have to wear a shirt and tie to school every day. What I didn't realize at the time was that walking through those doors would mean a lot more than starting at a new school, and instead, it would become one of the biggest decisions of my life, and for that matter, all of your lives as well. The decision to come to prep was different for each and every one of us, and yet it had the same outcome. This is where we chose to be for the next 4 years. From there, our paths diverge, and the decisions we made and the choices we had have differed greatly. Our experiences at prep have been full of countless decisions. As freshmen, we were largely unsure of who we were. We tried out for sports, some we had played in middle school, and others we had no idea schools in New Jersey even had. We went to that first activities fair and signed up for more clubs than we could ever possibly be a part of, for reasons that more often than not involved free food. I'll never forget my introduction to the water polo team freshman year, when I was lovingly told in a less than PG way how this team was the biggest collection of screw-ups prep had ever assembled. Don't worry though, we're still consistently among the top 5 teams in the state. The decision to join baseball club was the easiest decision I think I've made here. Nothing could beat hot dogs with Father Zardo until he started Pope Francis Alive with meatball in a cup. As soon as we started to get more comfortable at prep, we started to make more decisions. Some were good, and others weren't. The decision to get a bacon, egg, and cheese from Legal Grounds before school was always a good one. Waiting until last minute to start a DBQ, losing internet access, and having to finish it at McDonald's at 3 a.m. the night it was due, not so much. Although the 24/7 Wi-Fi really did come in clutch. The beauty of St. Peter's Prep is that it gives us the opportunity to decide things for ourselves, and yet it provides us with community when we aren't so sure of what we should do. During our 4 years, we've had the opportunity to not only go to school and become good students, but to walk through the doors at Grand and Warren and become good people. What makes prep so special is that although we are faced with different choices and plagued by different struggles, the decisions that we make do not drive us apart. Instead, they unite us, forming a brotherhood that is sure to withstand the test of time. Today, in our last moments as prep students, we represent unique aspects of the prep community. Our decisions to give our all in the classroom, on the field, in the pool, on the stage, and even in the crowd have shaped not only who we are as individuals, but who we are as a collective group of prep men. Our decisions to open up to each other on Kairos and Emos and every other day of prep have allowed us to understand who we are and to never feel the need to hide that person from each other. We have all made the decisions, either on our own or through the persuasion of campus ministry, to serve countless communities, not only here in Jersey City, but in places like Philadelphia, West Virginia, and LA as well. We have joined together to support one another in every way, whether it's in the classroom, on retreat, or on the field. And of course, we have come together to say the prayer for generosity and sing pride and glory on countless occasions. We have come a long way since Mr. Coviello first made us sing those words every Thursday, even if most of us, including myself, can't sing to save our lives. These decisions have shaped the last 1,375 days of our lives, and the bonds that we have formed through them will continue with us. Over the past 4 years, I've learned that school teaches us to use our mind to come to our decisions. For most schools, this is noble enough. What makes prep different is it challenges each and every one of us to use not only our minds, but our hearts. Unlike choosing to attend prep, choosing where to attend college was the toughest decision of my life, and it was one I was unable to make alone. In the 3 days of school before the deadline, I consulted many friends and teachers and spent several hours talking it over in Mr. Anti's office. As I look back on those 3 days, I realized that I did not seek these people out of desperation. I sought their advice because I know that the friends I have made here know me just as well as I know myself. There is nowhere else on earth where I would have considered putting such a big decision in the hands of others. Our decisions will continue to define us, just as they have formed us to be the people that we have become. And this truth may seem daunting, as a few wrong choices could easily lead us astray. But as the class of 2016, we know we have no reason to be afraid. Prep has prepared us for the challenges ahead more than we ever could have imagined 1,375 days ago. As we walk through the doors today as Prep alumni, we can be assured in the fact that Prep has formed us to be men of competence, conscience, and compassion, words that have been etched into our brains since we stared at them during sophomore geometry in the hopes that they would aid us during our test. Regardless of where we go from here, I know the gifts that Prep has given us we shall never forget. Because it's not Prep for 1,375 days, it's Prep for life.